Hi, this is Eric O'Dell with Continuous Testing Live. We're broadcasting live from the CA Technologies booth here at AWS reInvent. And I'm here with my friend Dave Carroll from BlazeMeter. Dave, tell us what you do for BlazeMeter.
I'm on the product team at BlazeMeter.
You're on the product team. And so there's a lot of people that are interested in doing performance testing in the cloud. What are the benefits of doing performance testing in the cloud?
Yeah, so in the cloud and Saas, and it's basically that there's a cultural thing. Saas apps tend to be much easier to learn, much easier to spread out amongst your teams. We're big believers in democratization, which is to say that anybody who needs to run a test should be able to without waiting in line for someone else. So Saas apps tend to be more grab it and go, easy to get going, no big lengthy install, that kind of thing.
Okay. Now, there are some organizations that might have a number of concerns about security or having issues with their data outside of a firewall. What are some of these concerns that they have, and just how does BlazeMeter fit with that?
Yeah, so typically banks, financials, healthcare companies, they have either regulatory reasons or they've got sort of very strong cultural reasons why they don't want their data going outside the firewall. And so they've historically felt that they were sort of stuck with proprietary inside the LAN tools. But they come to us and they say, we really like what you've got. Do you have a version we can run inside the firewall? And that's kind of the dynamic that's been going back and forth for a little bit. And what we want to talk about today is kind of how we address that.
All right. So exactly what does BlazeMeter do to solve this? I understand that we've introduced a new solution, a new feature from BlazeMeter that's private cloud. Can you tell us about that?
Yeah, so we did a kind of a unique thing. It's a patent-pending approach. Why don't we come over here for a sec? I'll show you in this picture. So normally our solution would run up in the cloud, and you'd kind of go up to the cloud to fire up a test. You'd upload your assets. You'd run the test. But these people want this data to stay secure. So what we're doing is inside the firewall, we've got a very thin slice of our application we call the BlazeMeter proxy, and that has a very simple job, which is to strip out anything sensitive and store it locally and never send it to the cloud at all. So when you go to create your test assets are stored locally. Anything you care about is stored locally. When you fire up your test and run it, things like error messages, the labels in your test, all the stuff that would be sort of human intelligent information gets stored locally. What goes up to the cloud is just a token, a string that means nothing except an index back to this data in the local storage, right? As the test runs and the results come back, those tokens, those sort of arbitrary strings get swapped back out with the meaningful data, and the human inside the firewall sees meaningful data. If someone were to somehow get into the cloud from outside the firewall, all they would see would be gibberish. They would see these tokens, these strings that don't mean anything. So when we show this to the security teams at banks and insurance companies and health companies, their eyes light up and they're like, this is great, because we like the idea that we don't have to maintain the app, that we don't have to install the app, that we don't have to patch the app. We like all that goodness, but we really like that the data doesn't ever go up. We don't want our data, we don't want you to convince us we securely store it and it's encrypted and no one can get to it, because they're not believing that very much. It's hard to, how do you know, right? So if it physically never leaves the firewall, it's just so elegantly simple, problem solved.
Okay, and so if someone wants to check out the BlazeMeter private cloud, how would they go about that?
Yeah, they should just go to blazemeter.com and they can look in our blog. It's actually got a couple articles in it, our blog. If you go to blazemeter.com/blog, you could just Google it, frankly, BlazeMeter Private Cloud, and you'll find out more about both BlazeMeter and what we've done, our unique innovation to sort of segregate the data, keep it inside the firewall.
All right, thank you very much, Dave. And this is Eric O'Dell with Continuous Testing Live from CA Technologies, and we'll see you next time.